Welcome back to another episode of Hustle in the Huddle. Thank you for joining us in the huddle this week and huddling up. This episode, we're going to be talking about that work-life balance. And I literally was just telling Amber before we started, I had an epiphany about work-life balance and like how I lack it. So I'm really ready to get into it. Also, side note, let me give a little disclaimer. As y'all can see, your girl got braces. So we already two country bumpkins as is when it comes to talking on this podcast. So bear with me for sure as I try to do my words and make sure everything come out right. So we're still work in progress. But kicking it off with our front row factors, is there really such a thing as work-life balance or like balancing in work? Amber, what do you think?
I struggle. I feel like I still struggle with work-life balance. I have so much going on from working at Fanatics to I just wrapped up my contract for Bleacher Report. So I have something off my, I don't want to say finally because I love working for Bleacher Report, but I have off my plate where I can kind of put energy into my last semester of school. And of course, into my son, his junior year, and into spending holidays with my friends as well. And of course, to making sure I'm spending time with my Niners, I'm saying I'm repping 2-0. But yeah, it's hard to balance because I struggle with at the beginning of my career. If I'm putting a lot of energy into my relationships, my career life is failing or it's not doing so great. To where it's opposite, where I'm putting all this energy into my career to where I have really like no love life. Like I have no time to put into a relationship or to put into my friends. Because as a Black woman in a male dominant industry, we're kind of low on the totem pole. So we have to put more time and effort into our careers to make sure that we're even on the same level as men. We lose a lot of time, with our family. So that's also why it's kind of hard to bear children as well, because we're on that pregnancy leave, and when we're on that pregnancy leave, it's kind of like we lose time, trying to build our career. So it's like we sliding down, that totem pole. Yeah. So it's hard to balance.
I say it is hard to balance. I feel like I had no balance. Like I said, I had an epiphany about it. I feel like I've been pouring so much into work of where I'm trying to get to and like trying to live in this answered prayer that I've literally, I think the thing about like the work-life balance is, like you're still living a life. Like, yeah, I go out and I, go out of town or I go on a trip, but I'm always so like hyper focused on, oh, when I get back to work, I have to do this, or oh, I got this for work. Like I'm always thinking about what's next, like how I can build in my career versus like, let me just be in the moment and be happy with what I got going on. So I think balancing is just a hard part because, like you said, there's so many obstacles that women in the industry face where you can work twice as hard and be 3 times as good, but if it's one thing slips you up, it's going to take you 2-3 more times longer to get back to even where you were before, let alone get ahead. So I think like when I try to balance, I get a little sidetracked because I'm like, I don't want to lose momentum. But then also too, it's like I don't want to lose myself in the sense of, oh, I'm so work. Like you said, no relationships or friendships. Like I know I need to do a better job of calling my friends that I don't talk to on a regular, but I like still care about them, but I don't call as often as I used to. Or like I just went to a boxing class this weekend, which was really nice because that's something I need to do, like mentally and physically. I got to get myself back to where I need to be because I can't do anything else. So I don't balance that. So it's like the struggle, like, oh, if I pour into this, but I'm gonna take away from this. So the balance it can exist, but it's real non-existent if you don't know where to start. So I think like that, like, how do you navigate, with a demanding schedule? How do you balance in your life?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say next. Like that kind of takes us into how to navigate your schedules, like from games to maybe my son's practice to traveling to games, to the Falcons game. We have a Falcons and 49ers game coming up. And obviously with school. So like, how do we navigate all those things? And it's just making a schedule. It's really that simple. Making a schedule and following it, because your mental health is a big part of it too. Like sometimes I forget about my mental health. I forget to exercise, and that plays a big part in making sure you have energy to put into your career. Because if you're not healthy, how can you be present in your career, right? And present with your friends and family. So, like I said, make a schedule. You have 24 hours in the day. And you make time for what you want. So make a schedule. I'm working 9 to 5. Maybe I'm gonna go out for my mental health before I go to work. Or mental health also comes with getting rest. You don't have energy if you're not getting rest. I tell my son that, like, he likes to stay up late at night, and I'm like, a part of growing and getting taller is getting it's veggies and it's getting rest. You have to get rest if you want to get taller, right? So that also it comes with your mental health. So if that's resting before you go to work, and then when you get off, going right to the gym at Fanatics, we have a gym inside of our office because we're big on mental health. So a lot of people, they work out on their lunch breaks. So try to include that workout in your 24 hours. And then whether it's after that, spend an hour, with your friends, whether it's FaceTime, texting, or, going out to dinner, whatever that is. Also with your family, going to games. Games are about 2 hours and 30 minutes. So that's time that you can spend with your family and friends. Or maybe I know football, going to games is a part of my escape. Like, I love games. I love going to concerts. Even sitting at home watching Netflix, binge watching shows. Sometimes, you want to escape from reality, and sometimes escaping into other people's realities on TV shows. It's that helps your mental health. And then, like I said, and then making time for, if you're in school, making time for schoolwork. So I have designated days where I do homework, whether that's Fridays and Sundays. I have designated days where I'm doing homework. So it's really just building out a schedule, 24 hours, 7 days a week. You can make it happen. You just have to stick to it. Like, you have to be consistent with your schedule. And I'm a victim of not being consistent with my schedule.
I was just about to say, I agree with you, but I disagree. Yeah, I was gonna say I agree with you.
I make a schedule. I do not follow it.
That's what I was literally about to say. I was like, you can make a schedule all day, but if you don't have the consistency, it's not going. It's just words on paper. Because I literally just think, as you said, everything. Like, I can tell myself, like, okay, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna walk in the morning, then I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna have me a breakfast, I'm gonna get a real productive day in, I'm gonna take a long shower, I'm gonna talk to my people, I'm gonna do all this stuff. And then one thing, and I am a victim of this. Every time one thing go wrong in my schedule, everything else go out the window. Like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I gotta this through me out. So you have to power through. If you stick to your schedule, that's a big thing. Because I know if it takes one thing, like I didn't go to bed on time. Now I can't get up early the next day to go work out the way I want to. Because I like to work out in the morning. Everything off track. So it's like the things that have like designated timelines. Yes, you have to get done. Like, you have to turn your homework in on time. So of course you're gonna make sure you get it done. You have to make sure Jaden gets to practice. So you're gonna get that done. But like the things like that we kind of neglect, like the working out, the talking to your friends, doing that stuff, that fall to the wayside. So I think, like you said, yes, having a schedule, but like being consistent, holding yourself accountable, and that goes to like having a consistency buddy. So me and you will hold each other consistent when it comes to stuff for the podcast or, other things. But like, who can be your people in those different areas? Like, hey, did you work out today? Did you do this? Find those different people to kind of hold you accountable in your schedule. Also then kind of helps you balance that back out. And like you said, like going to concerts, going to games, or things you can do. Like, I signed up to go. I bought me a ticket to go see Leon Thomas in November by myself. Like, I'm trying to pour more into myself of doing things that are going to like bring me genuine joy that has nothing to do with anything. And like, to have that feeling like you got to go with people. So I also do that too.
And you just led us into the next topic. What does healthy, supportive relationships look like when you're in the sports industry? And that's exactly what you said. Even your friends, we talked about this in the support episode, even your friends that aren't in the industry, what does that look like when they're supporting you?
Just being there, like, shoulder, not even say crying, but like just that release of, I don't have to talk about this because then this is related to work, so we can talk about something else. Like, I love the conversation where I can just talk to my homegirls, my best friends, and just like, what you got going on with life? What are we talking about? Like, y'all, okay, I'm talking to this person, and I don't know how I feel about him. Can we go through X, Y, and Z? Like, those recaps. What show are you watching right now? How's life treating you? Like, those take my mind off of other things and like help me kind of figure out, like, dang, I'm slacking in this area. Like, I'm really happy that you're doing that, and like that catch up. So I think finding people that are kind of like an escape from the work that you do, but also going to push you and be honest with you. I think what we fail to realize, like, you need people that's going to give you that harsh reality sometimes too. Like, friend, I love you, but baby, you haven't been showing up for me in the way you used to, or you haven't been doing this. I need you to kind of, figure that out. And that makes you realize, like, dang, I have been slacking on this end. I do need to do better on this end. So people that are honest with you, but also like, keep you grounded are really necessary for me as a supportive relationship in this industry, and like that's just on the friend side. Even relationship, like talking to somebody, like dating a guy, I need you to like be that release. Like if I need to vent to you about my day, let me have it. But also like take my mind away from it. Help me. Like I literally had to tell somebody the other day, like, look, you're not doing enough. I need you to no. That's enough. We'll talk about that. Yeah. I feel like Reese. Yeah, I feel Betty, like I just like not that you're not doing enough, but like there's things that you could do to like really help me, and I'll do the same for you. So don't be afraid to speak up too, and be honest on the other end of that too.
Yeah, I've definitely early on I struggled. I've been single for 10 years. Like I definitely put relationships on the back burner so I could focus on my career. Luckily, it worked out for me. It worked out for me. So I'm always a big preacher on women. Put your career first. I'm always on that because it worked for me. Like I'm never gonna tell somebody something that didn't work for me. Everybody's timeline is different. Tomorrow isn't promised, you know, and a lot of people they put love before their careers. I totally get that. I win, you know, hey, everybody feels like, yeah, teach them. Like for me, it's God, my son, my career, and then relationship.
Oh no, you messed it up. It should be God, you, your son, career, relationship.
That's probably why I'm always because you know I put my
Nah, you gotta
here. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I came here from Buffalo because
you gotta put yourself up there. Yeah, you gotta put yourself up there.
But yeah, sure, you definitely got to put yourself under God for sure. But I feel like I put like the career part, like that's you. You know what I'm saying? God, my son, then my career. Because it used to be God, my career, then my son. But you know, now that I'm in my career and I've shown my son how to be dedicated to something and how to follow your dreams and achieve them, you know, now he knows what to do and to always put himself in his career first and then focus on those relationships afterwards. So, you know, like I said, a lot of people don't put, you know, other things before their career and for themselves, which is totally fine. If it works for you, it works for you. Do what works for you. We can only tell you what works for us and navigate, you know, that. But there's always loops and holes around everything. So, and there's been people who never struggle with balance, like they're balance. But
my sister did it. My sister got Trip City, girl, any out the country.
See, but majority people, that's why it's the topic is majority people in the course industry, especially women, struggle with it because there's so much on us when it comes to being a woman, being a Black woman, having kids, still trying to, you know, work the pregnancy, you know, life after pregnancy, dealing with postpartum, you know, being on your periods, changing, like it's just so much that we have to try to balance. And then, like I said, and going to school because it's definitely a plus for us if we have a master's. So we always going to recommend people to follow that master's route because it just, you know, puts us, if not above, a little bit above, but on the same level as a white male who would get looked at before us. But pretty say it's changing. But I mean, we stand some change. I ain't gonna do that. We stand some change. Women in those top executive roles. So we starting to see some change a little bit. But like I said, we still gotta do a lot of work to get there. So you know, it's balance is huge.
Yeah. I think too, the next like staying present is a big thing too, and like building those relationships personally and like in a demanding industry. Like I told you, I had an epiphany. So y'all listen. I literally last week, I literally was like just going through and like thinking through some things, like how I've been as a person, things I have going on, and like where I'm trying to go. And I was just like, you know what? You stop prioritizing you. Like Amber said, is you know, God, this, that, third. I stopped prioritizing me. Like I used to take myself on self dates. I used to like really pour into myself and like be there, check in, like before I got my job, I was walking 10 miles a day. Like, probably because I was losing my mental a little bit, but there's neither here nor there. But I got to a place where, like, I was doing stuff for me, like things that made me feel good, made me feel happy. I kind of stopped doing it since I got the job because I'm like, oh, I work 9 to 5:30 on all the week, Monday through Friday, and I got to do this, I got to do that, or something extra. Like, we never off the clock. Work don't stop. Now we got the podcast, and I really just got like lazy and like I literally found myself like breaking down. No lie, like I was starting to tear up a little bit. Even thinking about it now, I started to tear up just because like I'm 26 and I would hate to think that like I'm letting my life go by and looking back like, yeah, you had this career, yeah, you did this, but like, were you happy? And like, were you genuinely happy? I think is the main question. Because I could say, yeah, I'm happy. I have happy moments. I smile, I laugh. But am I genuinely happy with myself? Because I can't be happy with nobody else. I can't be happy in no career if I'm not happy with myself. And like, I'm not a big emotional person, but like it makes me emotional to think about that because I'm only getting, wiser with age. I'm like, okay, this needs to start now. And I said, like, when I turned 26 on my Instagram, I said I'm entering my her era and really like moving with intention of being her and who does her look like for me. I did a little her stuff here and there, but like I need to fully lock in on being her. So I'm going on concert.
And she's talking about turning 6. Imagine turning 36 and you're not happy in your career. You know what I'm saying? We know a lot of people, even friends, that are in their 30s and not happy in their careers. And this goes into our next topic in talking about the importance of mental health and stillness. Like, if you're not happy in your career, what are you doing? What are you doing? Literally, like you're just existing. God didn't put us on earth to just exist. He put us on this earth to make change and to live through Him. I'm saying, and I cannot have a job where I have no purpose. And I'm not gonna lie to you, the reason why I like to have multiple jobs because I like to have a purpose. I have to feel like I have a purpose. Like my job is to me, it's so easy and it's fun. Sometimes I feel like I don't have a purpose because, like, how can a job pay this well be so easy and it's fun? I just something else. So that's when I accepted that job at Bleacher Report, the country got Bleacher Report. I'm like, I need to be doing something that got something to do with women's sports. I feel like I need to make a change. I need to make a change. And at Bleacher Report, I felt like I had a purpose because I was helping the WNBA. I was helping women's sports. I was helping women in sports become noticed by working in social media, building content for women, and putting out notice. Like women say, we're breaking numbers that the NBA, haven't broken. So it's like that's why I started at Bleacher Report. So you have to have a purpose. You have to have a reason to live. Like Pastor Haynes, Christian Baptist. Yeah.
Come on now, words. I thought that was gonna be me with these verses, girl. You ain't got none. Look at you. Fresh mouth.
West Baptist Church here in Texas. And he was preaching about having a dream, like Dr. King. You have to have a dream. And if you don't have no dreams, you feel like you don't have a purpose. And if you don't have a purpose, you feel like you don't have a reason to live. And that's why some people commit suicide because they feel like they don't have a reason to live, right? So find a dream, find a purpose, and then you have goals and you can work towards and you have something to wake up to and live for. If you don't have kids, you don't have family, you have to have something to live for. A lot of us live for our kids, we live for our family, but sometimes that's not enough. You have to have something for you. You know what I'm saying?
I think, okay, 3 things that came to mind with me. First things first, I live in okay, so how people say you gotta romanticize your life and like look at your life and like rose-colored glasses and stuff. That's what I'm trying to do. The one thing I really do is like I like to imagine my life on a soundtrack. Like, okay, based on this song, what does my life like? What does that thing look like? So there's a couple songs that come to mind. Like, so first one is Intro from Forest Hills Drive from J. Cole when he said, do you want to be happy? Do you want to be free? Free from pain, from scars, whatever. And he said, take the time to look behind and say, look how far I came. They say dreams come true, and when they do, that's a beautiful thing. we have to remember sometimes, don't forget the things that you pray for, that you're living in an answered prayer at times. Because when you're so focused on what's next, you're going to miss it. Like, this was the blessing that you prayed for. It may not look how you thought it was going to look, but this is what you prayed for. And what you do with it is how you know, move from it. So that's one of the bigger things for me. One, I look at my life like a soundtrack. And like I said, off that line right there, look behind, say, look how far you done came. They say that dreams come true. And when they do, that is a beautiful thing. Like, I didn't, when I went home after the internship with TA ended, I didn't know what my life was going to be. I was just like, okay, like, I need to get a job, but what does that look like? It kind of just felt like an anticlimactic end where it's like, okay, I did this year-long internship at this coveted place, and, and that's it. Like, there was nothing more. That's it. And to go home for 4 minutes, like, apply to jobs and, like, just being back, like, it felt like I failed myself. And it wasn't a failure. Like, it was just definitely like a time for me to sit back and take inventory. But, it kind of felt like a letdown. So it's like, no, like, look how far you done came. Before you didn't have this, you finished your master's, you did this. Like, don't discredit yourself just because you're not okay with what you think it should look like. Like, this is what you prayed for. It may not be in the time that you thought it was going to come, but it's coming. So that was one. And then two, when you say, like, finding your purpose in life, I don't know, for those who've seen the movie, I'm a big Disney Pixar movie fan because there's a lot of great messages in there. But, like, the movie Soul, that had Jamie Foxx, and, like, he died at the beginning of the movie, and he's like, his soul went up, and it was like he went with this young soul that, like, did not have a purpose, couldn't find a purpose in life, because he thought his sole purpose was to play music. But come to find out, like, music was a great way for him to express himself, and music was something he loved, but it wasn't his purpose. And it was funny because the title of the movie didn't show up to the end, because that's when that's when his life really began. Right. Was when he realized that this wasn't his sole purpose in life, wasn't for music. His sole purpose was to bring joy, to help others find what they, were interested in. So that's another thing. Like, yes, find a purpose, but don't make that your sole purpose. It should be something that gives you foundation and gives you a stepping stone of where to go next. Because you should always be able to pivot and look at life in different ways. And just the small things can be purposeful in life. You don't have to solve world hunger. You don't have to be the one to cure cancer, but you can do something where you could have impacted the next person's life, or you could have did something that really made a change for you. Like I said, I told you that there's so many times where I just think about my life and, like, dang, dude, I can cry about, like, dang, I could have did this, or I should have did this, or I should be here. But why won't I sit here and cry about something where I'm still here? That goes back to the whole song thing. When we wanted to start this podcast, there was a lot of difficulties that came up from different places, and it really, like, it was really discouraging, I'll say, when we were just trying to do something that was for us, that was something that was near and dear to our heart, and it was just like we were getting pushback from so many different places. And I just remember it was like something had came up, and I was just so upset. I was at work, and I got so upset, and I had to, like, run up and call my sister Niecy. That's why my face, call my sister Niecy, and she's like, Leah, like, you're okay, you're fine. And I was like, Niecy, I'm so upset, like, I'm so tired, I'm stressed, like, why are people doing this? I'm just trying to do something that's gonna make me happy. And she's like, you're still here, you're good. And I literally went back to my desk, I put my headphones in, and I listened to Still Here. I think it's by the Williams Brothers Live. It was like, I made it through another day's journey, I'm still here. It's a gospel song. Mm-hmm. And then, one of the things that, like, the one line that got me, that said, lied on, many times I've been lied on, but I'm still here. So, you made it through another day's journey, you still here. Don't let nobody take that from you. You're still here, you're doing it, and you're getting there. I think that goes back to, like, really balancing your life. You're still here, so don't take for granted balancing the things. Work is temporary. The life you live, that's forever. That kind of ties into, setting boundaries, avoiding burnout, and why, saying no is, like, a necessary thing for your long-term career success. I think, it does make a difference. It makes a difference. First of all, you can't say yes to everything. It's okay to say no for one. Set those boundaries. Tell people what you will and won't allow.
Yeah.
Do it.
And let me say this before I lose my train of thought, because I'm really bad at this. I definitely admit that I say yes to every opportunity just to have, because I never want to be the one to shy away from opportunity. I always thing on my resume. I want to say yes to every job. Like, when I got NBA, Bleacher Report, and Fanatics, I wanted to work all three. I was trying to figure out how I could work all three. What, like, And then like I was going back and forth with my friends, well, maybe I can do it this, I can do this. And then when it came down to just FBA and fanatics, I was like, man, I know I can work both of them. I know I can. Like I want every opportunity, especially big opportunities like working for the league and for a big like fanatics, like and that's where I come to struggle with balance because I'm trying to work 3 jobs while in school, while having a kid, while having a project, trying to focus on my mental health. That's why I struggle with balance because I'm putting too much on myself. So you figure out which opportunity is good for you and then choose from there. And you gotta say no to the rest. Like if you can work 2 jobs, cool. Like, I was able to do it because Beach Report was remote. I was working it, at night, but it was summertime, right? So that contract had to end the school started first because school was coming back on my plate. So you just gotta be strategic about it to where you're still balancing your 24 hours and it has to make sense.
Yeah, I'm good to tell somebody no. Now, you know that I'm good to tell somebody no, depending on what you ask me for. But I think with career, it is harder to say no because, like you said, you don't want to feel like you're going to miss out on that opportunity and be like, dang, I said no and I should have, well, I can make it work. I can do it. If I really think about it, I can really do it. Girl, go down because, yes, you can do it, but it's like, to what extent? Now, if it's something like you said, Bleacher Report was during the summer, you didn't have no classes, there was a empty space that you could fill, for sure, do it. But it's like right now, you about to work a full time, event season's coming up, and can you really like balance that and still be okay? That's a question that you got to answer. So you got to set those boundaries, and also set boundaries with people that are trying to burn you out. Not even just work, personal too. Why? Look, I'm gonna say it clear. Yes, be a resource to your friends, be there for your friends. But when you feel like their problems start to become too much of your problems and you already got your own problems, all right, set them boundaries like, friend, I love you to death. But there's a thing that people have called therapies. They get paid to help you figure out these issues. I'll be a sounding board, but I can't solve your problems with you because guess what? Just because I don't sit here and tell you every little thing that's going on in my life that make me want to go jump off a bridge on a good day does not mean that I am okay. Like I too am going through it. I'm high functioning. I can process what needs to be handled.
I definitely was the therapy friend. I had to cut my friends off from that route because it was taking a toll on me. Maybe last year, I think it was last year, the year before last. I think it was last year. Was at the hospital. My heart rate was pounding too hard because friends. So yeah, at some point you gotta set boundaries with your friends and cut them off.
Yeah, good. Tell people no, set some boundaries because I don't get mad. I'm not mad if you're mad at me. And also to set boundaries when you feel like people are moving weird that's affecting you. Set some boundaries too. Like your discernment is never off. If you feel like somebody's doing something that's like, this is affecting me and it's going to start to affect other parts of my life, I'm going to fall back on you. I'm a step back from because this, I don't need it. I can do bad by myself. I don't need it. You're moving funny. And call it out.
Yeah. Call it out. To our last topic, like, who are you outside of your career? Who are you outside? Like, what type of person are you? What type of person you want to be? People know who Aaliyah is outside of NFLPA? Do people know who Amber is outside of Fanatics? Are we just Fanatics at NFLPA? Are we just hustling the huddle? Like, what type of woman do you want to represent? Like, who are you? Do you have an identity? I like to believe I have an identity. I like when people associate me with sports, but I want people to associate me as a God-fearing woman too. I want people to associate me as I'm a mother first before anything, right? And I don't like when people be like, "Oh, I didn't know you had a kid." I'm like, dang, what am I doing? You didn't know I had a kid. You know what I mean? So it's like,
you pulling a Drake where you hiding your world from your kid, or hiding your kid from the world.
Yeah. I work at Fanatics, but you didn't know I had a kid, so it's like, okay, I'm putting my career before my child too much. So it's like how can women in sports, how can she identify herself outside of her career?
I think it's taking inventory of you as a person. Like, if you had to explain yourself to somebody else, what would you say? And I think for me, I think like 5 things I would say. Like you said, God-fearing, big heart, family oriented, beautifully hilarious go getter, if I had to describe myself. And I think because that encompasses, like, I think a good part of me. Like, I'm very jovial with my friends. I'm very goofy. If you know me, we're gonna kiki, we're gonna laugh. Same thing with my family. You see me around my family. Like, I love my family down. From my nieces and nephews to my grandma to my aunties, like a very, like, loving. I love my friends too. I really try to make sure I tell my friends I care about them. I love them. I'm there for them. Show up in that way. But also, like, we didn't call this podcast Hustle and the Huddle for no reason, baby. I'm a hustler by nature. Like, I'm gonna get it by any means, regardless if it may seem small to the next person, it's building up for something else. So I think letting your person, like, being personal, but I think that's the biggest thing. We said it so many times in these episodes, but like, your personality and how you show up will make the distinction of who you are outside of the work you do. Because at the end of the day, if people can say you're a good person or that they enjoy your company and being around you, there's not much else people can really say about you from determining your brand.
And that goes a long way, because that'll get you the opportunities that you're looking for. If people can identify you outside of your career and know that you're a good person at heart, and you're leading the right path, and you're shown as a leader. So for me, Amber, outside of sports, outside of Fanatics, is a leader, a mother, and a protector. So that's why I want people to know me as outside of sports, not just, oh, Amber, oh yeah, she's a sports girl. Like, I don't identify as that, but I want to be identified as sports girl and this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the point of this podcast also, it's for you guys to get to know us, and not only for us to help you through your career, but get to know us, our personalities outside of what we do in our career fields.
I say, yeah, I think it's always funny, though. You know how, like, when people are like, oh, I didn't expect that. When I met you, I didn't expect for you to be like this. It's like, and that's like, like you said, like, what kind of persona do I give off then if you didn't expect for me to be like this? What do you mean? Now, granted, if you don't play that, I don't, like, we can give off, like, there might be a little distance. I know sometimes in certain settings, I'll sit back and like, I don't care for this. But if you really get to know us, it's like, yeah, like, no, they're really great. Type people get your shot off their back type of thing, figure out which way they can help you.
Yeah.
So I think, just continue to be yourself, but also think back to the person you were before you got the job. I think is a bigger thing, because some people will take the job, like you said, and make it their whole personality and, be out here faking it until they make it.
They feel like they have to, and you don't have to.
Yeah.
You feel like you have to at the beginning of your career to set the tone, but you get back to yourself, get back to your roots.
Yeah, and I wouldn't want to just be known as my job, because then, like I said, the same way we got the disclaimer at the beginning of our podcast, like, these are our thoughts and opinions. That's how, like, I think that's how you need to look at it in general. Like, I'm my own person. I have my own thoughts. I have my own opinions. Yes, I work at this place, but, like, I'm a whole different person too. Like, the work is an extension of me. I do good work, and it gets me here, but it's an extension of me. This is not. I don't wake up, eat, breathe, and sleep this. That's. I sometimes take a break. Like, right now, we're in the thick of football season. I need a break. I'm in football 24/7. I need a break. I don't always, watch a game or overindulge stuff like that. I try to, break it up. I need a.
I'm watching.
Like I said, I keep up with it, but I need, like, just when you're just that show every day, I need the time.
Make sure you guys follow us on every platform, Hustle in the Huddle, on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, and our website, www.hustleinthehuddle.com. Stay tuned for our next episode, which is me and Aaliyah together again. I'll be in DC this time, shocking, kind of. And be a big, I know every episode I say our biggest episode, but this is a big episode of imposter syndrome, because it is not just women, but men to deal with when you're building your career and you get that job and you like, dang, do I belong here? Even before you get job, it's like, and you're not getting offers, it's like, oh my God, I'm a fraud. I don't belong here. You know what I mean? So we're gonna tackle all that. We all deal with it. Go to conventions. Everybody dealt with this, so it's a huge topic to talk about. Episode 8, imposter syndrome.
Stay tuned.
Make sure you guys
hustle hard, huddle smart, and we'll see you back at the hub. All right, bye, y'all.